I'd like to call the meeting to order for the City of Hudson for their council meeting on Tuesday, September 2nd. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, the roll.
Mayor Burchill.
Here.
District 1 Morset.
Here.
District 2 Yakub Rad.
She's excused.
District 3 McCormick.
Here.
District 4 Weber.
Here.
District 5 Hoggett.
Here.
District 6 Vanslo.
Here. This point in the agenda, we ask anyone in the audience that would like to speak to the council, and now is their chance on any item that is not on the agenda. Seeing no one rush to the podium, we will go to room tax update from the Hudson Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau. Kim Heineman is here, and she said she would take 2 minutes. I'm kidding.
You told me 10, and I see I have 5, so look at my pile.
I know.
You're in for trouble, Ollie. All right. If you don't mind, I'll reach back and forth just a little bit.
The screen isn't working.
He's not? Well, Mike is going to help me when I give him the eye.
Oh, okay, okay.
We're only going to run through it once.
Okay.
And also, I did provide much more information than you were able to see in your packets. So as Nancy mentioned to me, if you need to see the rest of my materials, please feel free to see the file in the clerk's office.
Black and white copies of everything?
Pardon me?
They have copies of everything.
Oh, they do?
They were in
Thank
black
you,
and white. They're in
Devin.
black and white.
Perfect.
They were emailed, and then the color copies are available here at the desk.
Thanks a lot. That's great. All right, so here we go. Again, my name is Kim Heineman, and I thank you very much for your support of the Tourism Bureau for the last 27 years. And I also thank Tracy Leffner, who is here with me today. She's our board chair, and she, as well as our board of directors, actually have been very attuned to the tourism budget and room tax allocations over many years. In a recent 3 to 5 year strategic planning session, too, the tourism is one of the 4 strategic goal areas within the organization. So obviously a very strategic and very important asset to our organization. Randy, also thanks for being our tourism liaison. All right, so just quickly, how did Wisconsin's tourism economy fare in 2013? Tourism, of course, is big business. The total impact of traveler spending in Wisconsin was $17.5 billion in 2013, which was up 4% from 2012, according to research conducted by Tourism Economics and Logwoods International. So statewide, tourism and traveler spending generated $1.35 billion in the state and with local revenue, and $1 billion in federal taxes. So indeed, tourism plays a critical role in Hudson and continues to grow, and from an economic standpoint, the numbers reflect that. The lodging tax bar charts that you all received from Neil regarding room tax and lodging tax collections show an increase in lodging tax collection since '09. 2013 the year's numbers are very encouraging and show increases in occupancy quarter over quarter. Also, 2014 has a great start as well. Tourism plays a vital role in Hudson and St. Croix County and to businesses and attractions that market to the tourism business here. Locally, visitors spent $87.85 million, an increase of almost 8.5% over last year, and that's analysis that was released by the Department of Tourism in May. So this results in total business sales of $148.66 million in St. Croix County, and it also relates to 1,688 jobs here. In Wisconsin, it's all about the fun, and that's what they've determined is the #1 motivator in the state for leisure travels in Wisconsin. I don't know if any of you have seen the department's ads this year on the spoof and the remake of the airplane movies. Right, so anyway, this is the second year in a row of some really fun advertising for them. The Hudson Chamber and Tourism Bureau promotes Hudson to attract the overnight stays in area lodging properties, resulting in additional tourism spending on dining, shopping, and attractions to enhance the economic impact and economic vitality in the Hudson area. So the purpose of this lodging tax and the funds is to stimulate the local economy with increased tourism and visitors. These funds provide a long-term sustainable funding for the Hudson community and for tourism promotion here. Lodging tax is a visitor tax, not a tax, and it's paid for by the visitors and not by all of us, the local residents. So no tax burden to local residents. So in your packets, I included the 2013 financials for your review. Each year, the Tourism Bureau sends out hundreds of visitor and tourism packets. We answer thousands of tourism-related phone calls. We assist hundreds of people in the office. We respond to many, many hundreds of email requests and questions about tourism in an effort to attract visitors to the Hudson community. And we also, bless you.
Thank you.
We also represent Hudson at area events and programs, partnerships we do with the state and regional and local areas to promote tourism. We have several locations that house tourism information on Hudson in town. 2 of those locations are on the Hill and 3 of them are downtown. In your packets, I've provided some examples of advertising and marketing materials for your review, and as Devin mentioned, the full color packets can be reviewed here as well. Hudson has been featured in many great magazines and publications and in social media pushes. And actually, I don't know if you noticed last week, but Hudson was number 5 out of the top 7 in the most romantic cities to be at in Wisconsin. So, yay to us, right? We also promote or partner with the Wisconsin Department of Tourism and take advantage of all their marketing reach to promote Hudson. New in 2013 was an expansion of our Say Hello to Hudson campaign, incorporating the state's fun campaign. Mike, maybe now would be a time to, is it already running?
I just started.
See, he can read my mind from the back of my head. He's awesome. Okay. So here is some of the ads that we have done. They're just a snippet of them, really, but we advertise Minnesota Monthly, Minneapolis St. Paul Magazine, Midwest Living Magazine, which is a very large regional publication, Spaces Magazine, Wisconsin Trails, Living and Playing Magazine, Chicago Elite, Traveler, the Chicago Tribune, the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, American Road Magazine, which is a national publication, just to name a few. And some of these ads just show you a snippet of some of the events and programming that we've done, and also some of the, you just saw there was a promotion of golf in Hudson, and what we do there is a lot of stay and play packages that we work together with the lodging properties and also with the golf courses in town or in the area. One other thing too, that was an example of a partnership with the Department of Tourism. There's only 10 of them for the viewing audience to view. This was the partnership with American Road Magazine, promoting the Yellowstone Trail, which obviously goes right through town here, and then some of the winter campaigns. We're always promoting at the bottom of our ads events and programs that happen in Hudson to entice that overnight stay. So some very nice ads in a wide array of publications. One of the other things I wanted to say out loud here is there's our fun campaign for summer, Say Hello to Hudson. Our tourism website, too, is sayhellotohudson.com, which blends in with our advertising marketing campaign. We also have had some really great press just recently, besides being designated a romantic city. We have just briefly, I won't hold up and leaf through the magazines, but you can take a look at them if you want to. This is our passport to Hudson. We had some visitors come in the office today, and this is basically a partnership that I'll talk about in a minute that promotes the Yellowstone Trail through Hudson. We also have this particular ad that we do in our regional publication. This one just came to the office today, Living and Playing magazine. And in it, Hudson is a destination, and so quite a lot of really great publicity on Hudson, a full-page ad spread that was what we call earned media. Also in Minnesota Monthly Magazine this past month is Fall Travels issue, and Hudson has amazing placement in this publication featuring fall travels. So you can stop it anytime, Mike. Spaces Magazine, the reason I bring this up, this is a product of the Pioneer Press, and in it we have, Hudson has been featured with 14 pages in the noon to 3 section, so it combines a wonderful editorial on Hudson in addition to several ads promoting our attractions in town, and that was so well received that in the Sunday Pioneer Press, the shopping part was repeated, and there's a whole nother page of shopping within the Sunday Pioneer Press. Head for the border, it says. So anyway, those are available for me if you'd like to read them further. So carrying on, tourism brochures. Many tourism brochures, including the Discover Hudson piece, which is produced in partnership with the Hudson Star Observer, which goes to 28 different travel locations throughout the state of Wisconsin. It features shopping, dining, and lodging and attractions. We also have a variety of other tourism brochures at the office that are also available at many of the different welcome centers and tourism centers throughout the state. I talked a little bit about our website. We do have a tourism-specific website, Say Hello to Hudson. It's available 24/7. We get thousands of hits on that particular site, as well as the chamber site, looking for information about Hudson. And thank you to the city, too, for linking from your site to our tourism site. We appreciate that very much, and I'm sure the traveling public and visitors do as well. We also work directly with the lodging properties to promote our travel packages and itineraries. So I mentioned earlier that we have many stay and play packages and itineraries. One would be the golf stay and play. We also do a girlfriend's getaway for our Christmas tour of homes. And we have many different group tour itinerary suggestions on our website. In addition, we also promote overnight stays as it relates to Afton Alps and those skiing folks that come here to spend time in the wintertime. We also do Facebook promotion of tourism events and local attractions, and I'd invite you to like our Facebook for sure. Through the Department of Tourism, we also have purchased Facebook promotions with great success, and I don't know if you're Facebookers, but we recently did one on Willow River State Park in addition to the sailboats on the St. Croix. I showed you the Passport, which is a partnership that we did with Menominee and Chippewa Falls, which promotes the trail. It's kind of a Route 66 initiative, and the idea is to get people to be intrigued and stay overnight here and explore the trail and explore the area. We're also an extranet partner with the Department of Tourism, and as a partner, we link visitors to our area events and attractions through the very powerful Department of Tourism website. And our relationship with the department has awarded us additional print and media coverage and promotion through the state's extended reach. Also, as a partner with the Department of Tourism, we have placed ads in large markets that have been very beneficial. One of them I already mentioned is Midwest Living Magazine, which we would have a hard time being able to afford on our own. Through their power and their connections and our partnerships with them, we're also able to promote in the Chicago area and also in the Milwaukee markets, and several different products that those publications and those areas host. And we always promote our lodging, our shops, our attractions, our restaurants, and that increases all that out-of-market visitation and tourists. Benefits also include larger presence on the State Department site and our website driving traffic here. And an example of that is the Spirit of the St. Croix Art Festival that we do in partnership with the Phipps Center for the Arts at the end of September is featured in the department's fall travel schedule. Don't forget, too, that we also are partners in the Menominee Welcome Center. With the closing of the Hudson Welcome Center years ago, we took the initiative to partner in a new one, not exactly at the border, but it's closer than not having one at all on this side of the state. So Hudson, Visit Eau Claire, the Chippewa Falls Chamber and Tourism Bureau, in addition to the Menominee Chamber and Tourism Bureau, partnered to open up in partnership with the Department of Transportation the two sides, old rest areas on both sides of 94. And so that westbound traffic for us is very, very important, obviously, coming into town. As a partner, we also have many benefits, including special promotion, much more literature space, and all of that. So we meet regularly as a group, and so that's a really successful partnership. And as I mentioned, too, all of our Hudson material are out there in the state, 28 locations. We work with group travel marketing. We attend the Governor's Tourism Conference, which is the largest conference on tourism in the U.S. with over 1,000 attendees. And we also have expanded in 2013 our tourism reach by joining the Wisconsin Hotel and Lodging Association and also joining the Wisconsin Convention and Visitors Bureau. We have those connections, relationships, and stay attuned to all of the happenings in those markets. So we feel that's a very good addition. We're also members of the St. Croix Valley Regional Tourism Alliance, which promotes communities on both sides of the river, up and down the river. I talked about the membership and the promotion of the Yellowstone Trail, which you all here helped us designate some years ago and continues to be a draw. We also partner with Take Me to the River events, which are promotions along the river in September, 2 weekends, 2 full weeks and 2 weekends. And then that ad that I showed you in Minnesota Monthly is a partnership with the Chamber's Advertising Opportunities Committee, where we pool our funds to get broader reach in our advertising. Some of the events that we do that are not relating to room tax, that are kind of value added for the community, would be the St. Croix, Spirit of the St. Croix Art Festival and the Christmas Tour of Homes, which I'm sure you're familiar with. We also partner in a couple others, the Hilltop Pumpkin Party in October up on the hill, and then all the Celebrate the Holidays events in the holiday season. Some of the other things, too, that are great tourism assets for us that we promote and field calls and help with our chamber member events, Hot Air Fair, Booster Days, North Hudson Pepper Fest, the concerts in the park that you provide, and also the Locust Street Car Show. So all those things go into our media. And then lastly, for 2014, I provided you with some information about the financials thus far. We just did receive the second quarter funding from you, so we thank you very much for that. One of the really great initiatives that we're able to do this year and pay for over 3 years out of our lodging tax allocations is Discover Wisconsin television programming, which some of you may have read in the Hudson Star Observer recently on the front page. That's an initiative that's being paid for by the Tourism Bureau with room tax, and what it does is provide promotion of Hudson to 8 states via Discover Wisconsin programming. Around here it's held, the programs are on Sundays on Fox Sports North, but they do go to 8 states and different television markets throughout the Midwest, in addition to having much website and social media and PR, radio, advertisements. So they've already been here twice filming for winter and summer, and they'll be back here in the fall for the last leg of our programming, filming, and that'll be in the fall during our Spirit of the St. Croix Art Festival will be one of the filmings, but certainly there are many other fun things going on that are attractions and tourism destinations here in town. So you'll see them again. The airing of the show will be in spring of 2015, so you'll be seeing much more about that as the time gets closer. So with that, I am concluding, and I want to thank you again very much for your support. We promote Hudson in out-of-market areas, encouraging visitors and tourists to stay overnight here. These tourists and visitors explore while they are here and spend money on dining, shopping, and attractions, thus improving the economic vitality of the Hudson area. So anyway, thank you very much.
Anybody have any questions for Kim?
Thanks, Kim, a really nice job. Very, very cool.
Thank you.
We're really lucky to have the Hudson Chamber of Commerce. They do an excellent
Absolutely.
job promoting
Yeah,
our
great job.
area.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Madam Clerk, the consent agenda, please.
To approve the regular meeting minutes of August 18th, 2014. To approve claims for payment in the amount of $339,225.33. A detailed description is available in the clerk's office on request and is posted on the city's website. To approve 5 regular operators licenses contingent on payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city for the period September 3rd, 2014 to June 30th, 2016. Additional operator license application information is on file in the clerk's office. And to approve the issuance of 2 temporary operators licenses for use at the Christian Community Campus Foundation Wine Fest. To approve the application for temporary Class B beer and Class C wine licenses to St. Patrick's Parish for the St. Patrick's School 2015 Gala on April 11th, 2015, as submitted. To approve the application for a temporary Class B beer and Class C wine license to the Christian Community Campus Foundation for an event on April 17th, 2014, as submitted. To authorize the city administrator to begin recruitment process to fill the vacant account clerk 2 position in the police department. To authorize the city administrator to begin the recruitment process to fill the vacant paramedic position. To approve the easement agreement to construct a fence within a drainage and utility easement area for James and Teresa Cruzinga at 74 Meadowlark Drive. To approve the easement agreement to construct a fence within a drainage and utility easement area for Randall and Wendy Nickerson at 39 Stone Harbor Place. To approve the request to temporarily amend the alcohol premises description for Tim La Dolce Vita LLC doing business as Urban Olive and Vine to include the rear parking lot area of the property at 522nd Street on September 19th through 21st, 2014, and September 26th through 28th, 2014, contingent on complying with any recommendations from the building inspector, fire inspector, wastewater superintendent, or police chief, payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city, and surrender of the current license before releasing the amended license. To place on file the August 12, 2014 Utility Commission minutes, the August 18, 2014 St. Croix EMS Commission minutes, and the May 20th, 2014 Zoning Board of Appeals minutes. And that is all.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
McCormick?
Yes.
Haggett?
Yes.
Weber?
Yes.
Vanslo?
Yes.
Morset?
Yes.
Hey, Finance Committee, discussion, possible action on bids received for the First Street Parking Improvement Project. Tom is still here, I believe? Yes. And he'll give us a quick update on this. I think everyone was here, or at least heard parts of this conversation, but why don't we start again?
Okay, yeah, the item before the council tonight is to consider action, possible awarding construction contract for the First Street Parking Improvements, Phase 2. This was discussed early in the spring back in May, and if you recall, we were talking about 76 stalls at that time to be constructed down along First Street in 3 locations. There would be 68 net stalls. We do lose some up by the bathhouse parking lot. Total estimated project cost in our original estimates in May was $533,800. Bids opened Thursday. There was only one bidder, Pember Companies. Their low bid was in the amount of $385,571. We did note that in that bid of $385,571 was about 700 lineal feet of sidewalk on the south end of the project, and that 700 feet of sidewalk was not really contemplated in the numbers or the estimates from last May, so there's an additional item in there if you want to look at it that way. Not knowing how the bids would come in, we did provide an alternate bid as part of the bidding process. The alternate bid would include just the north portion, parking stalls, 46 stalls, which would be up by the bathhouse and north of Locust Street for a total of 43 stalls. That low bid was $217,515. Again, stepping back to the low bid for 385, there's 2 issues. One is to award the contract at that amount, if the council so chooses. But we've put 20% on that to cover indirect costs. That would get you up to $462,007. The alternate bid with the indirect costs, again, 20% estimated, would get to a total estimated project cost of $261,000.
Questions? Anybody have any questions for Tom?
Are there, let's see, Vine and north of Vine, there's going to be parking spots, right? Is that true?
There's about 16 stalls,
Is there going to be sidewalk in front of that?
Yes.
Or around? Okay.
similar to what's up there now. There is a sidewalk adjacent to First Street. We would, there's some green space, but we would put diagonal parking, 16 stalls, and adjacent to the curb would be a sidewalk.
Okay, good. It's a well-used sidewalk. I mean, people
Yep.
park all the way up First Street, so.
The Finance Committee also recommended an additional allowance for potential parking meters. Have that cost included, so their recommendation was $475 total, just to make sure.
Just
Make
so
sure
that-
that everything was in there, and doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to be spent, but that's,
Because I think we have
Allocation.
20 already. We're going to have the public safety take a look at our parking meters and where we want to put them. Because I don't think we wanted to go north or south of the Dyke Road, because they're not metered now, I don't believe,
Correct.
at least at this point.
I'll move we award the bid to Pemper Companies for the $385,571 plus 20% contingency and for a total project cost of $475,000.
Okay, is there a second?
I second it.
Second by Rich.
and
Any other?
the funding will be coming out of the parking fund.
Right.
Correct.
So will this drain the parking fund?
Down to almost zero, isn't it? Neil?
There will be about $60,000 left in the parking fund.
Thank you.
I guess it wasn't zero, it was 60,000, but. That's why
So
we
what's the-
developed the fund is.
And the 475 is the max. I mean,
Yep.
we don't know that. It could be substantially less if there's no issues, but.
And what's the usual balance in that fund, if there's a usual?
I don't think we spent anything other than maintenance out of that fund for years.
I believe the last, I'm not mistaken, the last major project was the project over by the old library building.
Library building,
Right, yeah, the balance has just been growing and growing, and some of it has been, what was it, a couple years ago, they established the Future Facilities Fund where 30% of the net revenues have been going in there, and that's accumulated over the past 4 years, $90,000. So it's a balance that does, does grow and provides, an opportunity for projects such as this.
One of the things that we established, was it 3 years ago? I think if Randy and Rich were on the council then, is we put, 30% of all the revenue has
Correct,
to go
the net
into-
revenue.
It can't be touched by
Operations.
operations or anything like that, because otherwise we would never have any money, because we always find a way to pull it out. So
Sure.
that 90,000 that we're using is
Is
part of
the
it.
accumulative effect
Yeah.
of that, correct. I think the other thing to note is that at the previous meeting with the Smiling Moose, we will have, $70,000 coming in over the next 8 years in addition, and that will help replenish these funds too.
Thanks.
Okay, any other questions? Good question, Tom. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let's get it done, Tom. Okay, discussion, possible action on ordinance 12-14, fire inspections, issue sheet and ordinance 1214. Kathy?
Well, this is just the ordinance that Chief St. Martin, Fire Chief St. Martin suggested at the last council meeting to help reduce the backlog of inspections. The council city is allowed to reduce the inspections to 1 per year and no longer than 15 months between inspections. So,
Okay, it keeps us in compliance with.
Yep.
yeah, and so you can either do a first reading or suspend the rules. and
Move to
adopt.
suspend the rules.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Haggett,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
Vanslo.
Yes.
McCormick,
Yes.
Orsett.
Yes. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 12-14?
Move to approve ordinance number 12-14.
Is there a second by Jim? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6B, discussion possible action on resolution 10-14 requesting exemption from the county library tax. Neil?
As a result of action in the state's 2013 budget, the formula was changed for joint libraries to become exempt from the county library levy. One of the things we still need to do is to request exemption from the county. And, that's the genesis for the resolution that's in front of you. The provision that was changed in state statute for exemption for joint libraries is that we need to provide support for operations, and by operations that excludes capital, but our level of support has to be no less than the average of the past 3 years. So the average of the past 3 years, and there is actually a correction on the resolution, I think it says 186,000, it should be 286,000, where.
Note that in the
Yep.
halfway down.
Right. And, our contribution this year was 295,000. So, what the resolution is saying is that we will appropriate for next year's operations a minimum of that $286,000.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Move to suspend.
I don't think we have to.
Yeah, you do for resolution.
I'll second it.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Haggett,
Yes.
Weber,
Yes.
McCormick,
Yes,
Morset,
Yes.
Vanslo.
Yes.
Now is there a motion to approve Resolution 10-14?
Move to approve resolution 10-14.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
So the only thing the ordinance is doing here was basically saying we're exempt.
We qualified, we would like you to give us an exemption.
You'd like to give us an exemption
Yes.
from the county levy.
Yes, correct.
Does the statute, do they have to honor it?
Yes.
The way this, I mean,
Yes.
So we're asking because we qualify for the exemption.
Yes.
Okay.
Neil, is it true or not that doing it this way saves the city money as opposed to having it assessed to the state?
It really is not a money savings to the city. Under the old formula, it was, it related to the rate at which the county library levy was assessed over the whole county. It was a very, complex and convoluted formula, where in 1 year we found ourselves where it didn't cost the city more money, but it did cost the residents of the city, who were paying both to support our local library directly, but then also supplementing by paying the county library levy all of the other libraries within the county. So that was, the reason that, the exemption was, or the change in state statute was put in there. So,
So the level of funding that's been for the past 3 years is more than it would have been had we gone by the formula?
It's hard to say it.
It really is hard to say, because, if you look at, and you weren't a part of a lot of these discussions, the funding for the library really comes from two sources. Number one, it comes from the 4-member communities. That's direct support. But then there's also money that they receive through the county library levy. And the funds that they receive through the county library levy are based upon a formula that says, well, it would be in 2013, say they circulated 60,000 volumes at a cost of, $1 a volume. Therefore, and that circulation would be to people who don't have a library in their community. And those would be the funds that we get from the county library. So when you see the county library levy, that, we will get funds from the county library levy, but it's based upon two factors. Number one, the circulation to people who don't have a library, and then number two, what is our cost per unit to circulate volumes?
does that answer?
There were many long discussions about this.
Very clarifying.
All right, any other questions or comments?
The bottom line is the library is still going to get the same amount of funding that they would have normally gotten.
Yes,
And the city is just being protected.
from double taxation
double
of its
taxation.
residents. Correct.
This is a formality, folks, right? Would you call it a formality?
Yes.
Yes. You don't want to have the county.
Right. We don't want the county to tax us also.
No, we
That's what
don't.
we're saying.
Yeah.
So, any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Communications for future agenda items, council members. Anything?
One suggestion, and maybe this goes to Public Works, is painting, since we're adding all this parking north of Vine, to actually paint lines for parking stalls at least a few blocks north, because people kind of tend to park inefficiently.
I think it's a good thing to take to Public Works. I think that's a great idea.
So, yeah,
First Street?
because, yeah, you could see people, some people would park, but, you know, we'd get a lot more cars in there, I think, if it was dictated by stripes.
Okay?
Just a suggestion.
All along First Street? Oh, we can't talk about it.
No, we'll take it to Public
Put it on
Works.
the agenda.
All right,
I got one.
yes.
I'd like to talk about the Sinkway Bike Pedestrian Trail Coalition and the number of items approving their bylaws, a resolution of support for a change in the trail design, and appointing a member from Hudson.
Put that
To
on
represent Hudson.
next
Put
week's
that on
agenda,
next-
or next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay? Got that, Devin?
Mhm.
All right, thank you. And we'll have their bylaws for us to review, and they want our support,
Awesome.
so we'll, okay, take a look at that. Anything else? City Attorney? We have one thing on October 2nd at our Planning Commission meeting. We're going to be talking about the two options for our interchange 2, and Mr. Darnold can update us on that, just for what it's going to be in the future. It's October 2nd, Thursday night.
Yeah, I don't want to get into details, because that's the
Yep.
purpose of the meeting, but for the last year and a half, there's been some city representatives, including myself, Mayor Burcho, Mary Yakub, meeting with and other city staff, St. Croix County officials, meeting with the Wisconsin Department of Transportation, their consultant, SRF, consultants out of Minneapolis area. We're down to two alternatives for adding capacity to exit 2. And essentially, we'd like to set up a joint meeting of the Common Council and the Plan Commission on Thursday night, October 2nd. The consultants are available that night to meet. They would bring a presentation which explains the pros and cons of both alternatives, including cost estimates, the amount of time it takes, why one alternative may have advantages or disadvantages. So we'd like to set that meeting up. I don't know if this room is specifically big enough for it, so I may look at an alternative room, such as the Phipps Center, see if the River Room might be available or something. But I want to make sure to get the consultants secured for that night, so we don't have to keep putting it off. The reason we want to have this meeting now is to hopefully one of the two alternatives surfaces to be the best alternative for the city's support. Wisconsin DOT wants our input. Rather just give the total choice to the Wisconsin DOT. They are looking for our input, but if we can make a decision now, we can start working on one of the alternatives. And one alternative affects the west side of Carmichael Road as far as private property. The other alternative affects the east side of Carmichael Road. So, by eliminating one of them, it'll be easier to work with development and so forth, and also give the DOT discussions in regards to right-of-way and other issues. So we want to try to start getting to a decision as quickly as possible in regards to either one alternative over the other. But we'll have a lot of information for you prior to that meeting, so we can discuss the pros and cons on October 2nd.
What time do you think it is?
Probably 7 p.m.
Benny, are these essentially the two alternatives that they?
Absolutely,
presented
yes,
at the public hearings?
yes, yeah.
Thank you, Denny. Any questions?
Is that going to be over before halftime then, for the Vikings-Packer game?
That's,
I see it on my calendar here.
Oh, boy.
6 o'clock, maybe?
Who cares?
well, if you want to set
It's
it,
fine, I'm just
set it
kidding.
earlier, that's
No,
fine.
no, that's the date.
Yeah,
If you have
that's
it
good.
here, we can have the TVs on.
Sounds good.
All right. Any other questions that are important?
There's only one pro team playing that night, so.
Yep. I have, thank you, Denny. I have two thank yous that I received to address to me and the city alderpersons, and that's from the Senior Center for our quarterly donation for the senior citizens, and then the St. Croix Historical Society also thanked us for their subsidy for the quarter. They send thank you notes, so That's from our room tax dollars, so just for you folks. At this point, we have discussion, possible action to enter a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Statute 1985 1C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of a public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction to consider exemption requests to city's residency ordinance.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We don't need a roll call.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll call vote.
Weber?
Yes.
McCormick?
Yes?
Orsett?
Yes.
Vanslo?
Yes.
Haggett?
Yes.
Okay, we're adjourned into closed session.